Hi, I'm sitting here with Miranda Jackson. She's the MBE Compliance Manager for Prince George's County. Miranda, tell us why this event is so important.
The purpose of this event is to communicate to the business community the importance of joint venturing, teaming, and partnering for the major development projects here in the county. We have a number of major development projects in the county, and our goal is to ensure that our local MBEs are utilized in the development of the major development projects. We want the local MBEs to benefit from any projects that are here in the county.
Now, you are the compliance manager. Explain it to our viewers exactly what is that.
As compliance manager, I'm responsible for ensuring that when major developers and general contractors come into our county, that they utilize local minority businesses. I review their MBE plans. I monitor their process. I'm responsible for connecting the local MBEs with the major developers and the general contractors. I'm responsible for developing policy for the county in terms of the utilization of local MBEs.
Why do you think Prince George's County has been a great focal point for minority businesses?
I think it's a great focal point for minority businesses because we have a large percentage of minorities in the county. Prince George's County is leading the region in job growth, economic development, and commercial construction. So there's a lot of opportunities for the business community here in the county. In fact, the business community here in the county are unique. They're unique because they're in the back door of the federal government. The federal government spends somewhere around $135 billion with companies in the Washington metropolitan area. They spend $26 billion with companies in Maryland and about $10 billion with companies located here in Prince George's County.
How can other states mirror what Prince George's County is doing?
I think what they need to do is have a commitment for ensuring that they utilize the local business community. And I think it will be based on the demographics. Prince George's County has a large percentage of African Americans and also African American businesses and other minority businesses. So that's why the standards are so high here in the county.
Tell us, what are your reflections on tonight?
I think it was an excellent event. I think that he instilled possibilities for the younger generation. Others is looking to become developers. You know, it's no longer a dream. You know, there's somebody that's been there, done that, so they know that it's possible.
Prince George's County is seizing upon opportunities at unprecedented times and charging ahead with developments like Woodmore Town Center and Phase 2 at National Harbor, featuring an impressive Disney resort. The leaders of Prince George's County government understand economic development is the most powerful engine to generate employment opportunities, act as a comprehensive catalyst in improving entire neighborhoods as well as increasing the tax base, and most importantly, it's transformational in terms of giving people who were locked out of opportunities an opportunity to build a better life for themselves and their families. And it is the entrepreneurs and small business owners who are the foot soldiers in that mission. And each person in this room tonight has the opportunity to make Prince George's County an even greater place to do business and to generate revenue in the process and make a lot of money for yourselves. The key is to identifying your dream and honing in on your strengths and going out there and turning your vision into reality.
Explain to us tonight why this event was so important.
Well, to get the word out, number one, that the center exists and that we're open for business. That's number one. Number two, for the greater good of the community, Samuel Dean, the chair of our council, wanted folks to know about all the development projects that are taking place in the county, as well as the opportunities that exist along with those projects. And then bringing out a success story like R. Donahue Peebles is inspirational to us all.
Take my story, for example. About halfway through my freshman year at Rutgers University, I realized that my dream of becoming a doctor, like my uncle, who I wanted to emulate, was not going to afford me the grand lifestyle that I anticipated for myself and that I dreamed about. So at the end of my first year, I returned to Washington, D.C. and obtained my real estate sales license. That was in 1979, and interest rates were about 22%. We were in a tremendous recession. Imagine that. Interest rates on home mortgages for FHA were 18%. So to sell a house and get somebody qualified was a heck of a feat. Everybody wanted to buy, just nobody could qualify. And while my friends were enjoying the college life, I was busy getting my career off the ground trying to sell houses. And to supplement my income, I became a real estate appraiser as well, and I appraised residential property. And I also started getting into the mix of the local real estate scene and was fortunate to launch my business career in the early 1980s, at a time, though, of great opportunity.
Your reflections on some of the comments Mr. Peoples made.
Well, that you never know when your golden opportunity is going to come along, and you seize the moment. And that don't always look at a setback as something to give up on, but to build back and look at how you can do things better and how you can make yourself better.
Why do you think Prince George's County has been a focal point for minority business?
Because we are majority minority. That's number one. And number two, this is the hub of minority business. So as long as there's legislation to make majority companies have or utilize minority businesses, we want to make sure that we get our fair share. So we're promoting Prince George's County as the hub of minority business. And if you as a prime contractor, say like Essentia or Clark or Kiewit or Khaki or any others, if you want to have minority participation with a good vendor, a good minority contractor, come to Prince George's County, because you will find them right here.
Does that also include women?
It does include women.
At what percent?
Well, each government agency has their own playbook, if you will. So the percentages are meted out based on these subcontractor reports. So I don't know what percentage specifically, but here in the state of Maryland, we're trying to do 25%. So 25% with minority businesses. So.
Also, what are your organization doing to recruit new entrepreneurs? Because some of the distribution stays within the old school.
Right.
What about the new?
Right. Well, that's why we're looking at companies that have been in business 2 to 3 years, so relatively new companies, to help them build capacity and grow so that they can be these old companies that everyone is talking about, and teach them new tricks and give them the skill set that they need to compete on a level playing field, if you will.
Thank you so much.